Hi, it's Walter Burns from Keller Williams City Life Realty and livingonthehudson.com. Today I'm going to discuss one of the most popular buildings in Hoboken with you, which is the Hudson Tea Building. And the Hudson Tea Building is actually two separate buildings, which is located at 1500 Washington and 1500 Hudson Street in Hoboken. It used to be the Lipton Tea Factory that was converted from a factory into residential apartments in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was an exclusive rental building for about 4 years, and then it was purchased by Toll Brothers, who converted it into condominiums in the 2004 to 2006 timeframe. And they converted it to condos and sold those off over the next 5 or 6 years after that. They are loft style units. They consist of alcove studios, one bedrooms, two bedroom plus den, and 3 bedroom layouts. Several owners have combined units in the building to create larger layouts as well. But it is two separate buildings. I'm going to move over to Google Earth where I could show you where it is in relation to Hoboken. So here's Hoboken and here's Midtown Manhattan. And the Hudson Tea Building is located on the northeast corner of Hoboken along the Hudson River. Like I mentioned, it is two buildings. It is 1500 Hudson Street and 1500 Washington Street. And again, located on 15th Street and Washington in Hoboken. The nice thing about the Tea Building is besides that it's a loft building and there aren't many lofts in the area, is that it's very close to the ferry. So the ferry terminal to New York City is right over here. And you could take the ferry over to New York, takes you over to 38th Street and the West Side Highway over here. The building itself, the buildings themselves, I should say, they each of them have their own amenities, but they are residents can use the amenities in either building. So the gym and the residence lounge is actually on the first floor of 1500 Hudson Street. So if you live in 1500 Washington, you just cross over and use the gym. It's one of the largest gyms in the area. If you're into working out, it rivals some pay facilities that are in Hoboken. So first floor is the gym. On this side is the residence lounge. Each building has their own concierge. There's a shuttle to the path that picks up and drops off in front of the building, and it runs peak morning rush hour and peak evening rush hour. So that would be like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning and like 4:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And it picks up right here in front and takes you down to the path. It's only Monday to Friday. In the 1500 Washington Street building, there's a children's playroom. There's like, I believe, like a little like workspace now where residents can, like, if you work from home, you could set up a little desk to work during the day. The management office is in 1500 Washington as well. In between the two buildings, they recently added, and I'll just spin the building around. In this area here, this courtyard, they added some fire pits. It doesn't look green anymore like this. They put pavers, there's some fire pits and outdoor seating, which was recently added as well. But the building itself is very convenient. So you have, if you don't want to take the ferry to New York, you could take the bus, which runs along 14th Street in Hoboken, and you could pick up the bus and you could be through the Lincoln Tunnel, which is right here, pretty quickly. Usually 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic. You could be in the city if you did not want to take the ferry. So the bus is an option. If you wanted to go to the path, you could obviously take the shuttle down to the path, which would take you down to the waterfront area on the south side. You could also take the bus down Washington Street, or you could walk. The nice thing about the Hudson Tea Building is that if you have a car, there are a lot of rental parking options in the area, and the main garage is right here on 15th and Bloomfield. This garage here services most of the buildings here in the 14th, 15th Street corridor. The more of what we call the Toll Brothers buildings. Toll Brothers developed them, so that would be Hudson Tea, Harborside, 1450 Washington, 1400 100 Hudson, 1425 Hudson. All these buildings have an option to rent a spot here. Some people do own parking. They were able to purchase a license. And if you buy in the Hudson Tea Building, the owner may have a license they're able to sell you. It is not a full deed of ownership. It is a parking license because there's a land lease associated with this parking deck for like 100 years. So you can't be full deeded ownership, but it's a parking license. Most people, from my experience, do rent parking. And personally, I used to rent parking in this building, in this garage. You can, there are some spots available for outside residents. But if somebody who's a resident in this community wants a spot and there aren't any spots, they could ask those people who are renting on a monthly basis who live outside the complex to leave. So also up here where the Tea Building is located, you have a lot of restaurants and shops. It is a very convenient location here in Hoboken. And getting back to the building themselves, it's a former factory, so the ceilings are very high, 13, 14, 15 feet on average. So the units will range in square footage from around 735 square feet for a studio to over 1,300 square feet for a 2-bedroom, over 1,500 square feet for a 3-bedroom. So they do feel a lot bigger than the square footage may indicate. And that's the feedback I usually get from customers when I send them there, when we visit the building. On my website, livingonthehudson.com, I do profile all the listings available in the building, as well as scheduling a tour, photo gallery. You can check out the photos, interior and exterior, as well as some information regarding square footage ranges, when it was built, the maintenance fee per square foot, as well as what's currently available, what is sold, and what is for rent, where you could sign up for alerts as well. If you have any questions about the building, Hudson Tea Building, I'd be happy to speak with you further. I can be reached at walter@livingonthehudson.com or 347-448-3766. I will put a link down below to the Hudson Tea Building page for you to review. And if you have any questions, you can reach out anytime. Have a great day.